What's going on, y'all? My name is Enoch. I'm here to inspire, motivate, and encourage you to be the best version of you that you could possibly be. I know that ain't an easy task, but let's go. Welcome back to Divine Motivation Podcast. I appreciate you tuning in. If you like this video, you want to share it, you want to send it to a friend, show them, something might help them out. Follow the Instagram, Divine Motivation _, where I give you motivation every single day, every morning. Now let's get into it. So, last episode we talked about that dog. That was a good one where I really broke down what that dog really is. And kind of referring back to like our New Year's resolution and how we make these plans and goals, but we never execute them. And having that dog and really knowing what that is helps us through that. So I kind of want to go into the next thing that stops us from keep going in our goals. And I kind of want to stay here because I really want people to get over that hump of getting stuck and quitting on your goals and your passions and things like that, because that happens a lot. And I really think we need to make sure those areas are being worked on. So I started thinking the other day, and I'm like, what is one of those other things why is it so easy to just quit on something when you start something? Why is it so you can just stop and be like, I tried, but I'm not doing it no more? And it hit me. You ain't invest enough. And investment is often talked about with time, but also with money. All right, let's start with money for a second. When you put a certain amount of money into something, it's not that easy to quit. It's not so easy to just walk away from it, because it's like, yo, I invested too much money into this. I invested too much of my hard-earned money. And a lot of times we walk away from things because we ain't invest enough. So before you walk away, ask yourself, why am I walking away? If I would have invested $20,000, would I walk away that easily? And a lot of times you didn't invest into it like that because you didn't really believe it to begin with. A lot of times we start things saying like, yeah, this is what I want to do. This is my goal. I'm going to go do this. But you don't see results because you didn't put no money into it. You didn't invest anything into it. You're hoping me saying, oh, I want to do this is enough. You look at, oh, if I could just do this part and see these results, yeah. But the minute you start putting money into it, that's when you really believe it. The minute you start saying, no, I'm going to put this money towards this, that's when you know you're really serious. Because if you just say you're going to do something and never actually use anything tangible towards it, it makes sense. I see why you can walk away when it gets hard. I see why you lose that dog. You don't want to keep chewing at that tire because you don't see it ripping yet. It makes sense. It makes sense now. Because you didn't invest enough. You didn't put enough money towards it. You didn't make a sacrifice. Ultimately, you didn't put your hard-earned money into it. You didn't believe it enough. That's why you could just walk away. And I don't want us to stay there. Because a lot of times we forfeit our purpose because we didn't invest. And not investing is the reason we're able to walk away. Now let's go to time. You ain't invested enough time into it. Your time wasn't invested. You ain't really set some parameters like, yo, I'm going to put this amount of time every day into this. Because if you did, you would say, you almost get to a place where it's like, I can't turn back now. I put too much time into this. I put into time I'm not getting back. So this has to work. That's when that dog kick in. When you're really like, nah, I gotta keep going. It may not happen now, but I believe it's gonna happen. That's also another level of faith. You saying to yourself, like, I put this time in, I'm going. Like just recently, last weekend, or was it a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I'm investing into motivational speaking. I had to drive 5.5 hours to go work on my speech and have a presentation and have this whole thing set up. You think I'm gonna quit now? First off, I invested time and money. You think I'm gonna quit now? With this podcast, I got lights, I got a mic. I'm doing this every single week. I'm investing my time. Think I'm gonna stop now? The reason you quitting because you ain't invest nothing. You ain't sacrifice nothing. And that's the problem. We gotta stop saying like, oh man, it ain't working out. No, you not working out. You ain't putting in the proper work. You ain't working at it. And the reason you're not working at it because you ain't invest nothing. You ain't sacrifice nothing. And we got to get out of this. Oh, I need to see something right now. That instant gratification. It don't work like that. It don't always work like that. Sometimes you got to keep going. Even when you don't see no results, you got to keep going. Even when you don't see no change, you got to keep going. You got to tell yourself, no matter what, I said this is my goal. This is what I want to do. And when you have that tenacity, that's how you walk right into your purpose. A lot of people are lost because they don't know what they want to do with themselves. Because you never put your time into something. Even if you put your time into the wrong thing, you doing that can lead you to what you're supposed to be doing. We don't think about that. If you really believe something, I guarantee you some way out of that, you will find what you're supposed to be doing. But we so quick to say, it ain't work out. I don't got enough followers. I'ma stop. I don't got that much views. I'ma stop. The reason you're going to stop because you invest no money. You ain't invest no time. You ain't sacrifice. I've never met or heard of anyone that had some type of success where there was no sacrifice. If you've heard of somebody, please write it in the comments. I want to look it up. I want to know what their formula was. But I've never heard of it. Never. Someone that did not sacrifice anything and they had some success. Point me in that direction. I'll buy their book. Because I don't see where that's happening anywhere. You have to sacrifice. You have to invest your time. You have to invest your money. And that's where you divide. That's where that line is of those people that's really about it and those that's just, I'm going to just mess with it and see what happens. I'm all in when it comes to this podcast. I'm all in when it comes to motivational speaking. I invested too much time. I invested too much money. I can't turn away now. I have to keep going. And that's what I want you to get to. I want you to believe in yourself so much that you're willing to invest the money. You're willing to invest your time. Because I don't want 5 years from now to be like, man, I should have. And stay on this cycle of making New Year's resolution, making new goals, and not seeing anything happen because you're not investing or sacrificing anything. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen that way. And that's why I'm so adamant about just keep trying to motivate people to find your purpose. Use a gift that you have. Whatever it is, it could be anything. Find it, cultivate it. And that's why, and that's where doing those things, that's where you'll find like your why I'm supposed to be here. What am I here for? That's what a lot of people struggle with, is why they're here. So really think about that before you quit. Like, I'm quitting. Did I invest? Did I sacrifice? Did I invest my time? Did I invest money? Did I invest enough that makes it so easy to quit? But obviously, you got to be you got to know when to stop things. You do. Got to have that discernment. But ask yourself first, like, did I really give my all? Did I give the best possible effort? And if not, take a look at it again. That's this week's episode. I just want y'all to focus on just what you really putting in is what you're going to get back. Appreciate y'all tuning into this episode. Remember, if you like this video, share it to a friend. It might help them out. Who knows? Follow the Instagram, Divine Motivation _. And we'll do this again next week.